So in this, the limitation of this particular J.J. Thomson's model of atom is that it could not actually explain the stability of the atom, though it explained uniform distribution of mass of atom. He explained uniform distribution of mass of atom, and he also explained the overall neutrality of the atom. Limitation is that the stability of the atom could not be explained. Why it could not be explained? We will be knowing how exactly the limitation we got to know from one more model of atom called as Rutherford's model of atom. So we shall move to that. Before moving directly to Rutherford's model of atom, I'll just give you some basic idea of the discoveries that took place during those time. And after that only Rutherford got some idea of the further study. So before moving, so Rutherford's model of atom is also called alpha scattering experiment. Now you want to know what is alpha rays, right? So we will have some basic idea of what it is. This is just mentioned, and so let me tell you, William Roentgen was the one who discovered at around 1895 or so, he discovered X-rays. So it's something interesting to know about X-rays. You know what he did? He saw the cathode ray discharge tube experiment. Now you know. In the cathode ray discharge tube, when he saw that when the particles move from cathode to anode, or some particle material kept in the cathode ray discharge tube, it produced some material, produced some rays. Okay, some rays. You know, right? Cathode ray discharge tube is a glass tube. Some rays that was produced, it could pass out, and some fluorescent material, this is some fluorescent material kept outside. Some fluorescent material kept outside showed bright spot. So what does that mean? The rays can pass out of the cathode ray tube. He wanted to know about these rays. He again checked out. So what is it? From inside the cathode ray tube, it's passing out, and it is getting that fluorescence in some material there, fluorescent material there. He wanted to name those rays. Generally, he named them as X-rays. X-rays means to name it later, but even today they are called as X-rays. I need not tell about X-rays much. You know, they have high penetrating power. Penetrating power means to pass. See, it can even penetrate into our body and know about the organs there. So you have idea. So X-rays have high penetrating power. X-rays have high penetrating power, and they do not get deflected by electric and magnetic field. He also saw by applying electric and magnetic field whether it gets deflected. No, it doesn't get deflected even in the presence of electric and magnetic field. That was about X-rays. Then a scientist by name Henry Becquerel discovered radioactivity. He discovered radioactivity. You know what is radioactivity? There are certain elements which can produce radiation or which can emit radiation on their own. Without any external influence, they can emit the radiation on their own. Such elements are called as radioactive elements, and the phenomenon is called as radioactivity. Clear? What is it? Certain elements can emit. Emit means to give out. Emit radiations on their own. What are they called as? These elements are called as radioactive elements, and the phenomenon and that process is called as radioactivity. You have seen radium watches, all those you have seen. Radium is also a radioactive element. Uranium, we say it is used as fuel in nuclear reactors. That is also again a radioactive element. Okay, that's about radioactivity. Now, it was actually Rutherford who found that some radioactive element, they emit some rays. It emits 3 types of rays: alpha, beta, gamma. We call them as alpha rays, beta rays, alpha ALPHA, beta BETA, and gamma GAMMA, gamma rays. Okay, it could emit rays like alpha, beta, gamma rays. And what was the special property, These alpha rays were similar to that of protons. They were positively charged. Alpha rays are positively charged. And Rutherford said, they are helium nuclei. You know what is helium? In the periodic table, after hydrogen comes helium. Helium nuclei. Helium nuclei, here 2. Helium atomic number is 2. I'll tell about that. Here 4. He24 is helium nuclei. So he said alpha rays are nothing but helium nuclei which are positively charged. Beta rays are similar to electrons. Similar to electrons. That means they are negatively charged. And these gamma rays, they are neutral in nature. They are neutral. They are neutral particles. But gamma rays has very high penetrating power. Penetrating power in the sense I have told you, the ability to pass through any substance. So just for a picturization, let me tell you, you consider a sheet of paper, aluminium foil, lead sheet. Okay, this is paper, this is aluminium foil or say aluminium sheet, and this is lead sheet or concrete sheet, thick one. It's very thick. This is very thick sheet. And this aluminium sheet, it is thicker than ordinary paper. Now the rays were passed, alpha, beta, gamma. Since they are emitted from a radioactive substance, they are passed. Alpha rays could only pass through paper, but it cannot pass through this aluminium sheet or lead sheet. That means alpha rays are least penetrating. They penetrate very less. Whereas now beta rays were passed. Beta rays passed through paper. It also passed through aluminium sheet also. Which one? Beta. It is 100 times more penetrating than alpha rays. Now gamma rays were passed. Gamma rays, it passed through paper, it passed through aluminium sheet, it even passed through the lead sheet also. Lead sheet is very thick one, concrete sheet. It could pass through that. So what does that mean? Alpha rays are least penetrating. Least penetrating means it cannot pass through many substances. It has very least penetrating power. Beta rays are 100 times more penetrating, 100 times of alpha rays. How much alpha ray can pass? It's 100 times beta rays can pass. Whereas gamma rays can penetrate 1,000 times of alpha rays. Now you can just imagine, isn't it? So gamma rays will have more penetrating power. Hope it is clear. So this was just an introduction for the next part. Next we shall study the model of atom. Next we will study Rutherford's atomic model. Rutherford's atomic model, and this experiment is also called as alpha ray scattering experiment. This experiment is also called alpha ray scattering experiment. Why alpha ray? Alpha rays, you know. Now we have studied some of the properties of alpha rays. Scattering means to spread out. Alpha ray scattering experiment. We will study what it is. Now people had idea of J.J. Thomson's model. So Rutherford and his students and his two students, they joined together and they said, okay, we will again study his model of atom further. So the atom which he had to consider was, he took a gold foil, a piece of gold or a sheet of gold he took. From that he wanted to study its atoms. Okay, so we will see the experimental setup, how it is. So he had taken a source. It consists of a source. Source means from which alpha rays are emitted. He placed a lead plate. A lead plate was placed. And here a gold foil. Gold foil was placed. Okay, FOIL, sheet kind of, which was surrounded by a photographic plate. Which was surrounded by a photographic plate. This was a photographic plate which was surrounded. What is it? It is photographic plate. Now the experiment goes this way. From the source, alpha rays will be allowed to pass through the lead plate. It directs and it will go and hit gold foil. Now they thought, according to J.J. Thomson's experiment, what may happen? He said all the positive charges are distributed and negative charges, that is electrons, are embedded. So they expected like maybe somewhere a small deviation, or maybe the rays may slow down at that point. This was expected. But what was seen, you know, the rays were passed, alpha rays. Alpha rays were passed. It passed through lead plate and hit the gold foil. It hit the gold foil. The surprising thing was, as soon as it struck the gold foil, it was found that some of the particles went undeflected. It went and hit here. Some of the particles it deviated with deflected, we say. Okay, I will tell about that. Deflected with small angles. Some of the particles deflected at large angles, and some of the particles even tried to bounce back. Bounce back means, the particles which went here and hit the gold foil, it went back to the source at 180 degree also. At 180 degree again it bounced back. And how they got to know, that the particles are striking? They found flashes on the photographic plate. They could see some flash of light on the photographic plate. With that they got to know that the particles are hitting this way, or they are colliding this way. Now what is the experimental setup? It consists of a source. From the source alpha rays are emitted. Alpha rays pass through lead plate and hit or strike. We use a word strike. Strike the gold foil. And what was the observations? Now first we shall note down the observations. In the examination, they can either ask you observations, they can either ask you conclusions, or they can ask you Rutherford's atomic model. Okay? So the conclusions, observations were that some of the particles, I'll give you a picture of it. Okay? Say these are atoms with nucleus. Atoms with nucleus. Nucleus. So what was observed? Most of the particles went undeflected. Most of the particles went undeflected. Undeflected means without any deviation, it just passed. And some of the particles got deflected. Deflected means it changed its direction. Say, some of the particles even bounced back. Again, some of the particles, they get deflected. This is what actually, if you imagine the experimental setup, maybe this way you can imagine it. So what were the observations made? Observations were that most of the alpha particles went undeflected. Undeflected means without change in the direction, went undeflected. This is one point, it went undeflected without any changes in its path, it just went. Then using went, you can use passed also. Okay, passed, undeflected. Some of the alpha particles deflected at small angles. Some of the alpha particles deviated or deflected with small angles. Here you can see with small angles the deflection. Some alpha particles deflected at large angles. You can see here at large angles, you can see the deflection this way. Then the next point is, that is like a few alpha particles. It's like out of, say, if 2000 particles are passing, maybe out of 2000, one particle, like that. It bounced back. Here I have just shown it this way, but it actually bounces back at 180 degree. 180 degree it bounces back. Okay, at 180 degree the particles bounced back. So few alpha particles bounced back at even 180-degree angle. At even 180-degree angle. These were the observations made. Observations means during the experiment what was observed. Okay, observation. So that is about observation of Rutherford's experiment. Now what did he conclude? Conclusion means studying this, what did he explain? So let me write the conclusions next, okay? Conclusions. Conclusions. Conclusions were that most of the space in the atom, he said, now if this is atom, he had this conclusion. In the atom, most of the positively charged species are concentrated at the center. And he said there are empty spaces. There are more empty spaces in the atom. But what this person, J.J. Thomson, had said, he said that all positive charges are distributed. But that is not true. If that was true, see, alpha particles are positively charged. If they are positively charged, they should have been more deflection. It should have opposed. Positive repel. But what was seen? Most of the particles went undeflected. So he said there are some more empty spaces through which the particles can go undeflected. So if the particle has moved through these places, then you can see that they don't get deflected. Because why? There are empty spaces. This is the positive part. This is the positive part here. So he said there are empty spaces. So what was the first point? First point is that most of the space in the atom is empty. That means there are more empty spaces, so that the alpha particles went undeflected. This was the first conclusion he gave. Then he said all the positive charges are concentrated in a small area or small space at the center, and that is which constitutes nucleus. That is what was said. What was told? A few positively charged alpha particle, he said, positive charge is not spread throughout. Are you getting the point? Throughout, but concentrated. Concentrated means all together they are present. Concentrated at the center. At the center in a small space. This was one more conclusion. And he said volume of nucleus is very less compared to the volume of whole atom, isn't it? See, it is told that the radius is 10 to the power minus 10, no? But for nucleus, the radius is 10 to the power minus 15 meter. You can imagine smaller than the size of atom. So we say volume of nucleus is negligible. Negligible means it's nothing in front of the radius of or volume of atom. Negligible compared to the volume of atom. This is one more point. That means the volume of nucleus is very small compared to the volume of atom. Atom's radius is how much? 10 to the power minus 10 meter. But for this particular nucleus, it is of 10 to the power minus 15. You can imagine this nucleus is that of tennis ball, a small tennis ball, and the radius of atom is say from 5 kilometers away from that tennis ball. To that extent you can imagine. Okay, so this was the main conclusion, and the next point you can even write the radius of nucleus is 10 to the power minus 15 meter, whereas of atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Clear? So this is about the conclusion of Rutherford's alpha ray scattering experiment. Now when they ask you, if they ask you conclusion, you will be writing this. Observations, the previous one. If they ask you the model of Rutherford, then it is different. Okay, if they ask you Rutherford's atomic model, then you will have to write it is this way. Okay, it is spherical in shape, nucleus is concentrated at the center. Model explanation is Rutherford's model. What is it? Atom is spherical in shape. Write it in the frame a sentence and write atom is spherical in shape, and its radius of atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter, and you can write off nucleus also. Positive charges are concentrated at the center called nucleus. And the electrons revolve in circular path. These are electrons. Electrons revolve means it keeps revolve around the nucleus in the circular path called orbits. These terms are important. Orbits, nucleus. So what does it say? Atom is spherical in shape. Its radius is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. All the positive charges are concentrated at the center, and electrons are revolving in circular path. These path, it's not, you cannot see the path, it's just imaginary. Circular path, this path are called as orbits. These are electrons revolving. And he compared this to planetary system. It is like nucleus is the sun and the electrons revolving are like planets. This was told by Rutherford. In the next video, we shall discuss more about this Rutherford's atomic model. Please do note these points. Thank you.